Alright, so just a little update. So with the trellis net, you can see that plants are starting to grow up through the netting. You can see where a lot of the tops are starting to form, and those will hopefully be my bud sites once this gets going here. Still, some of the plant, still has some stretching to do, I would say, because it's only been flowering for about, I don't know, like 5 days, 6 days. So I'm hoping it continues to stretch up through, and a lot of these lower branches, you can see this plant right here in particular, right back here, a lot of the tops are right below the net. So I'm going to give it some more time to keep growing up, and eventually I'm going to have to go through here and do a nice big defoliation and get everything cleaned up so that it can just kind of grow right through the net. And all I have is buds. I don't need any lower growth. A lot of the lower branches will probably be chopped off because they just won't reach the light and they won't produce anything, and I don't want larvae. So I'd rather produce nice big buds rather than larvae. Today I'm going to go through and feed these plants. A lot of them are excuse me, starting to get very light. They drink water very fast. So I'm going to mix up some FOOP nutrients, and then I'll show you how I feed these plants with the net in. I use a watering wand to avoid having to take the pots out, but I will show you what the wand looks like and how that process looks like once I finish. Alright, so now this is how I'm going to mix up some of the flowering nutrients. Right here, this is microbes. This is basically like recharge and a couple other things. I just mix them all in one thing just so I don't have to keep 4 different containers. Inside of here is a little green scoop. You'll see it. So I've already put 1 scoop of that into this cup. This is where I'm going to be mixing everything. So that's to the side. The next thing that I use is this. Just a 60 milliliter syringe to mix all the liquid nutrients up, which I then mix into this cup. So you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay. Bloom 1 from FOOP. Bloom 2. So 1 and 2 go into the mix together on the back, and when you order the FOOP, it comes with a chart. It's a feeding chart. So it's going to be Bloom 2, Bloom 1, and then there's also a sweetener. Which is right here. The sweetener also goes in with Bloom 1 and 2. It's very important when you're using the FOOP to make sure that you shake it, because it will settle in the bottle and then you're not getting an equal distribution of what's in here. So sweetener, let's see. So according to the chart on the back, we're in week 3 of Bloom, which is 35 milliliters. So I put it right in here, draw this back, it's about 35, and then I put it right into the cup, just like that. So that's the sweetener, done. Bloom 1, week 3 of Bloom, 45 milliliters. So again, shake this up. This one's pretty new, so there's not really much room for it to shake. But we're gonna draw up 45, a little bit more. Okay, it's about 45. So put 45 right in there. it. And then bloom 2. Week 3 is also 45. Shake it. Do the same exact thing. 45 milliliters. Ready? Okay. There we go. Done. Now, this right here is the nutrients. So I'm going to mix it with the water and show you what it looks like once I mix it with the water. Alright, so right here, this is my water reservoir. So what I'm going to do is just take the mix that I just mixed, and I'm just going to mix it with the water and let that just bubble around in there for a couple seconds. I just rinse the cup out, pull all the stuff out, and that's it. So as you can see, it's just in there bubbling around. I'm going to let it go for a couple of minutes, just bubble around, and then I'm going to use the watering wand to water all the plants directly from this bucket. And I'll show you what that looks like. Alright, so this is the watering wand that I use. As you can see, it's got a hose on it, and at the very end of the hose is that little, this thing right here, which goes into the bucket. It's got a strainer on it so it doesn't get clogged up. So I'll show you. This is what the water is looking like right now after I just added the nutrients to it and letting it bubble. The nutrients don't smell either. They have some type of minty smell to them, so it doesn't smell like fish poop in your basement. So I'll put this right here, and I'll show you what I usually do. So how I normally do it, put the end into the water. Make sure that it's all the way in, and then I like to prime this. As you can see, it takes a second for it to start working. Once it starts going, just kind of spray the sides a little bit. Sometimes there's some nutrients that stick to the side or whatever. And now you can see that there's a steady stream of water coming out. So I turn this off. That's how I'm going to then feed these plants with this wand, and I don't have to take the pots out, and I don't have to move the net around. Alright, so this is just a small example of, here's the wand. I literally go underneath the net right here, and then just hit the button. Fill the pots. Very easy. Don't have to lift, don't have to do anything. There's one. Move to the next one. And that's it. So you just go around and I'm just going to use pretty much that whole bucket of water and just distribute it among the plants equally. So I'll come back once it's finished and I'll show you what they look like. Alright, so as you can see, I just gave these a bunch of water, pretty much that whole bucket. And you can see the training of them starting to look really good. There's a couple of branches that I can continue to tuck, but I'm gonna let it just continue to grow, you know, like this one right here. See it? I'm just going to take it and just tuck it under this thing right here. There you go. See? Done. This one right here is tucked. Leave it. These are tucked, tucked, tucked. So what you do is you just go around and you just try and get it as much as you can. As the plants continue to grow, then they can reach new squares on the netting. So then you just go around, continue to tuck until the canopy is totally spread off. See this gap right here? I'm going to try and fill this gap in as the plant continues to grow. So I'll continue to update, but that's what it's looking like as of right now.